welcome back to my channel. This tutorial I'll show you how I draft my basic bodice block with a sleeve. I also included a side guard. So this is the foundation to create your crop top, your blouse, your whatever top you have in mind. There are different methods to creating a basic bodice block, but I'm gonna make my method simplified. It's a beginner friendly tutorial, so it's just straight to the point. Basically we're gonna draft the front buttocks, and we're gonna use the front buttocks to trace the front buttocks to create our back buttocks. Have in mind that I'm not going to include easement, so in other words, zip allowance. So while drafting your pattern for your desired design, you have to include all that so it can fit perfectly. I just keep saying so. So don't forget to subscribe. Click the subscribe button below. Share, like, turn on your post notification for more tutorials. I'll be putting more tutorials. I'm just trying to clear out the foundation, do the foundation, so when we have to make a dress, we don't have to start from scratch, creating a block from scratch. So this is it. Let's get right into the tutorial. Get your materials ready. These are the materials that I used for this tutorial. Also my measurement, these are the measurement I used. I like to create a structure on my pattern, so I went up 1 inch using my ruler, and I also went down 1 inch. Our next step is to mark out our vertical measurements. My neck measurement is 14 inches divided by 5, which is 2.8. So I'll be marking out 3 inches for my neck length. Next is to mark out our armhole depth. My armhole depth is 17 inches divided by 2, which is 8.5. I'm going to include my shoulder slant. My shoulder slant is 1.5. That is my shoulder to shoulder measurement divided by 10, or my back width divided by 10, which is 1.5. So I'm going to include that on my armhole depth, which we will take out later. So you just go ahead and mark your armhole depth plus your slant. The next step is to get my shoulder to waist measurement. So I'm using my back waist measurement, which is 16. Sometimes I use 17 inches, but now I'm going to be using 16 inches. My shoulder to hip measurement is 25 inches, so I'm marking out 25 inches. We'll have to square out our vertical measurement to the width of your pattern paper, just like so. Next step is to create your neck curve. To create your neck curve, get half of your back width measurement. Mine is 7.5 inches. You mark out your neck measurement. Mine is 14 inches divided by 5, which is 3 inches. You go down on your neck length and also mark your 3 inches. Connect the 2 points just like so. Now to create our guideline for the curve, you go in 1/2 inch. You go on the other side, you go in 1/2 inch. In the center where the 2 points meets, you go up 1 inch just like so, and create your neck curve. So next step is to get our armhole curve. Our armhole curve, you mark your back width down on your armhole depth and connect both points just like so. Remember the 1.5 inches we added to the armhole depth, so you're going to mark that out for the slant, and also connect from the neck down to the shoulder to create your shoulder slant. Now get the midpoint of the armhole depth, which can be considered as your chest length. So you mark that out just like so. You can either mark your chest measurement, or you go in 1/2 inch just as a guideline to create your armhole curve. So here we go. So the next step is to get our bust measurement divided by 4. So So I'm going to mark my bust measurement, which is 8.3/4. Then you go up 1 inch just to create that curve. You can use a freehand, or you can use your hip curve, French curve, to create your point. Most times I use my freehand, so for the purpose of this tutorial we are going to be using our French curve. See, so I like to go a bit down just to give that easement. So I just go a bit down, just like so. So here we go. So next step is to mark out our waist measurement divided by 4 and our hip measurement divided by 4. So you just go and mark that out. The next step is to get your bust distance, that's your nipple to nipple measurement. Mine is 8 inches divided by 2, which is 4. You go ahead and mark that on your armhole depth, on your waist, and likewise on your hip, just like so. Connect the 3 points together. The purpose of this is to create our waist dart. So this is what we have done so far. Here we go. So our next step is to create our waist dart. On the center point on the waist, you go up 4, down you go up 4, that is 8 inches. At the side you go half an inch and half an inch, and you connect the points to create your dart, just like so. Now you add whatever you take out from your dart on the waist side, and you connect the armhole depth to the waist, from the waist to the hip. Next step is to create our side dart, which is important for most blouses. So you go down on the armhole depth 1 inch down. On the waist side you go up 3 inches, just like so, and also go up 1 inch, just like so. Get the center point of that, which is half an inch. You mark that and you connect that center point to the previously marked 1 inch on the center, just like that. You go in 1 inch, just like so, and connect the dart. Here we go. So whatever measurement you take out for the dart, which is half an inch, you mark up half an inch, you connect the point and also connect to the armhole, just like so. This is what we have done so far. I like to curve the edge of my pattern a bit before cutting them out. So go ahead and curve your pattern before cutting them out, just like so. Next step is to create our back buttocks block pattern. I noticed that my front buttocks block pattern is sharp, so I had to trim that out. So place your front buttocks on your pattern paper, just like so, and you trace that out all the way to the armhole. At the armhole, at the center, you go up half an inch and you connect your back armhole. Ensure that you curve them correctly, just like so. Now you trace out the shoulder, and for the neck of the back buttocks we'll have to go down 1 inch, just like so. You mark out your 1 inch and you connect the point. You can mark a guideline to create your back neck curve. So I traced my dots on my back buttocks. So you go ahead and trace your waist dot on your back buttocks. So the lines were not that sharp, so I had to use my measure tape to get the appropriate waist measurement. So cut out your back buttocks block pattern. So here we go. I placed my front buttocks block just to get the armhole depth line on my back buttocks block, just like so. So you can go ahead and do that. Next step is to draft our sleeve. So move your basic buttocks block pattern aside. You fold your sleeve pattern paper just like this, just to get the center. You roll a straight line across, just like so. So our next step is to add our sleeve cap. Our sleeve cap is our front and back armhole depth divided by 3. So you can either take your ruler to measure your armhole, your front and back armhole divided by 3, or you can go ahead and measure yourself, get your armhole depth measurement, divide that by 3, and you mark that out as your sleeve cap. I have done that. I extended the measurement all the way just to get the measurement all the way to the end of my pattern paper. So you can go ahead and do that, and you square that out. So I'm trying to ensure that my measurement is correct. So you rule that out just like so. So get your bicep or the fullest part of your arm, and you measure it down on the center, like so. You square that out, connecting the point, just like so. Now with your tape measure, get the midpoint of this triangle. You mark that out. You get the other midpoint and you mark that out. This is just to get our sleeve curve. So you get the midpoint of the midpoint you've gotten before. I hope you understand that. Just like so. You get the midpoint. Then that one you also get the midpoint, just like so. Then on the first point you go up ½ inch. On the last point you go then 3/4 inch. At the side you go then 1/4, that's 1/4. Then you go there 1/4. So now it's time to connect those points, creating your sleeve curve. So you connect the point just like so. Remember that this is just a sleeve block pattern. I'm not going to include my sleeve length. I'm not going to add my elbow length, my elbow circumference, nothing. This is just a block. So why making a blouse? If my blouse requires a sleeve, I will include all that measurement, my blouse length, my blouse sleeve length, my elbow circumference, whatever measurement is needed, I will include that. So don't forget, this is just a block. So I labeled my pattern up to, so I remember that this is where it should be. So go ahead and label your pattern and write whatever you want to write on it. So here we go, this is it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and you were able to draft your basic buttocks block. don't forget to subscribe. Click the subscribe button below, share, like, and turn on your post notification for more tutorials every week. Alright, so see you in my next tutorial. Bye bye.